right, welcome to the Ref Room, everybody. It is Monday, playoff season, and today we are going to be joined by a very special guest who has already arrived, and that is the man that is responsible for all the high school rankings, all the great articles that you see in the A-High newsletter. He's the one that basically selects the teams and tells us who's on top, and we're going to go through some of that today. So Ross Forman is here. Welcome in, Ross.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Scott. Brad, how are you?
I'm doing well. We're also joined by our local referee-in-chief, Brad Baumruck, my partner in crime here. You have a busy weekend this weekend as well, my friend?
You mean the past weekend or the weekend coming up?
No, this past weekend.
Oh, of course it was busy. We had playoffs here. Of course.
Okay.
Think there's any rest at this point? No, we're not done yet. We'll get there, though.
We still got a couple more weeks to go for sure. Everything leads up to, Wednesday the 13th at the United Center, I believe.
So that's that'll be a high school,
Yeah, see?
I was trying to get my extra lighting. Sorry. I'm like, where is this stuff?
Yeah, you got it. You got the fan going. You got all the background. It's all good. Anyway,
I can get something to make noise, too.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. Anyway, we've got lots to talk about, so I think we're going to jump right into. You want to start with the high school playoffs? Is that what we're doing, Ross? We're going to go through. You want to go down the brackets and talk about where we stand at this point and where we're headed?
Whatever you'd like. At some point,
we'll do predictions at the end, okay? So we're going to let all the viewers join in and put their thoughts into who's going to win these series, and then after we give them a second, we can jump in and we'll have our predictions. How's that?
All right. Well, you want to start in red? You want to start in combined? What do you want to do?
Where do you want to start, Brad? Where should we go?
Women's.
What?
Women's? Well, okay, that's pretty easy.
Okay. Let's go.
There you go.
You thought you throw me a curveball there, didn't you, Brad?
I did.
Barrington's going back to the finals. They're dominant. They have a lot of double roster players that are super talented. I'll probably mispronounce the names. Starting out at the Gorbatenko sisters, Nicole and Rachel.
They are unbelievable.
Talented.
I just had their championship game last weekend at Lake Forest Academy with those girls playing, and I think they played Latin or Romans. And wow, I mean, those two girls are the real deal together, and I mean, they're big, they're strong, they can shoot the puck, they can stick handle. They know where each other are located at all times. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it really is.
I think it's Barrington, and then who will be on the other bench.
Based on the brackets, who could we see?
Well, I think Logic says Fenwick will be there. Kind of my dark horse, and I'm not saying that's a complete dark horse because they're talented, would be Glenbrook. Glenbrook could be the other team skating out of there. But I'm not sure it truly matters. I think Barrington's going to repeat as champion.
I would agree with you on that. So we're in total agreement on this one. I don't think there's much argument.
Brad, are you agreeing with us?
Well, Brad won't even pick. I know him.
I am not stating everybody. Everyone's a winner.
Everyone's
a winner.
Everybody gets a prize for showing up.
Everybody gets a participation
award. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's switch over. Let's talk very briefly about JV. JV. I think Glenbrook North is the team to beat. They are number one. They're very talented. I just saw them the other night though. They did. They beat Lake Forest 1-0. Lake Forest is a good team as well.
They are.
They had some really tall players on Lake Forest, but I think GBN's the team to beat JV.
I would agree with
York
you. By the way,
two.
Who do you think is number? Give us a couple of the others, because.
So York is very good. Maine is talented. The dark horse for sure in the JV, New Trier.
Okay.
I think they're 12 or 14 seed. I don't remember offhand.
Yeah. I'm gonna step up and I'm gonna say if there's a dark horse, I think it could be Maine. not winning it, but I think getting as far as they could possibly go, because they played prep the other night, the JV, and it was pretty incredible. It was a very even game for the first period and a half, like no score, but they dominated. I think at the end, if you look back, prep probably had 2 or 3 minutes in the second period where they had good control and got some shots and they didn't score. And then they had 1 or 2 more good attempts in the third period. They didn't score. And slowly, Maine just whittled away to a 5-0 victory. Like, they played solid. And I didn't realize this. Skated at Park Ridge, the old barn, the other night. And my neighbor today was telling me it's the last week for Park Ridge that they are actually going to be doing the remodeling, is what I was told, because her daughter has figure skating classes there. And she's like, this is it. Last week for this. They're going to go through. We've been hearing about this remodel for years. And now I guess it's really going to happen.
They bought the land next door.
I didn't know that they didn't own it, because, they've got the driving range right there, which is Park District property. And then there was more property to the east, I think.
I think that's what they bought, the driving range.
I always thought that was owned by the Park District. So I don't know how they're going to reconfigure everything. But, there was always plenty of parking and space beyond the rink and everything else. To me, I love that building and that barn. That has some of the best ice still in Chicago. You don't freeze to death in that rink. They put new lighting in. The only thing that I really would like to see, they need locker room facilities and they need restrooms. They need like an addition on the outside of that place. I think would be, like put the team rooms in, put some new bathrooms in there, maybe fix up the lobby a little bit. I don't want to see them lose that sheet of ice. It's so good. Yeah, it's just a classic.
I don't think anybody should be subjected to the 184-degree locker rooms upstairs. The visiting teams have to get dressed in. Okay,
I haven't been up there for that, but that certainly beats the 32-degree locker rooms that we encounter in a few of our favorite places.
I'll take cold before I take 100.
Okay. All right, so. Anybody else got a prediction on what we think we might have for the JV?
Somebody put in the comments what my prediction is, and it's right on, baby. Go ahead, share that one out, Scott.
All right, let's see. Brad's prediction for all brackets. The officiating will be fantastic. Yes, Brian, you are absolutely right. Brian. And, there are 3 teams out there at all times. Don't forget that, people. All right, let's see what this is. Have a nice day. Feed to a tap-in goal as the ref during the academic house. Bars. Bounce. Yeah, it bounced off my my skate and came out. Didn't come off me, because if it had come off me, it would not have been a goal. So that's the way it works. That would have been blown dead. But the fact of the matter is, anytime you have a skate or a puck that deflects off a referee's equipment or a skate or anything of that nature, puck is still in play. It's just live. That's the way it is. If it goes off an official and goes in the net, then it's waved off and it's a face-off. So
directly into the net.
Yes, directly. Into the net. Right.
Also, I have scored a goal before, just so everybody knows.
Have you?
Hit me on a goal. Yeah, it hit me on the goal line like 2 years ago.
Okay. This was the closest I've come. This is the closest I've come, crazy. Having one come off the skate in the process of pivoting in a turn because somebody reversed that wasn't looking up. It's like, why are you reversing the puck? You got a clean lane to go. And all of a sudden they reversed.
That New player was thrilled.
I'm sure he was.
Told me all about it.
Yeah, I'm sure he was thrilled. Yeah. And news travels fast in our industry, folks.
it does bring up an interesting point, and Brad and I have talked about this for the last couple of months, and I am going to do a story in the next, time frame. I won't put a number out there, but I want to say rules are perceptions of what people think. The coach that went against last night, he asked you between periods, like, hey, I wasn't yelling. Quite simply, I did not know. what the
Yeah,
rule was.
no, he couldn't have been.
I'm sure you guys heard it as well.
I felt terrible because I know they gained a little bit of an advantage off that. I felt horrible. I'm glad it wasn't a 1-goal game. I'd never be able to come back out and skate again. I'd be in retirement now. I'd be filing for Social Security today. Okay,
it's a 3-1 game, and all of a sudden New Trier gets an easy goal. 4-1. So that was it's killer. But it points to the things that there's a lot of things that. People, I can't tell you how many times, I'm sure both you guys have had it this year where we, as a referee, you screw up an icing and somebody will say, that goes to center ice.
Hasn't done that in 20 years. 20 years at least.
15, 20 years.
That it
and
hasn't.
People still, so that's
they
something
think that if the puck is shot through the crease or if the goalie comes out on an icing, that it's waived. That's not the case. That's college rules. Yeah. So you need to know the rules of the league that you're playing in or coaching in.
And isn't a college rule either.
Yeah, not any. No, right. But
the goalie
that used to be. What's that?
Is the correct term. The goalie feigning the puck is the correct terminology from the college rule book. He comes out to feign the puck.
Right.
That's a way of icing.
Right.
Yeah. And if anybody doesn't know what that means, meaning like if he, makes any attempt to go over to look like he's going to play that puck or he's going to fake that he's going to play that puck, it nullifies the icing. And in USA hockey, that's not the way it works. Icing is that goalie can come out there and swing at that thing 5 times till he's blue in the face and spin around and drop down. And once that puck crosses the goal line, it's still going to be an icing. So. Unless the defenseman wasn't skating very hard, they'll have a problem. But so anyway.
Since we are talking about some rules things here, right? I just want to point out we got an email on an official parent, very, very upset, that there was a puck that was shot down the ice and it hit the goalpost and it proceeded to go across the goal line. And they were very, very adamant that was not icing because it hit the goalpost, even after somebody called them.
Well, I'm glad they sent that in because in case they were wondering, they're completely wrong.
We let them know. We're like, okay, just so you know, if the puck goes over the goal line, except for they score, okay, if they score, it's a goal. If it goes over the goal line, it's icing. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it goes 50 feet in the air over the goal line. It's icing.
That's right.
But no, they had hit the post, and that counts as it didn't go.
Well, I had a parent 2 weeks ago at the Central States tournament. I was supervising. I was standing there, and there's a puck that is shot from the defensive zone, almost from the goal line area. One of the players reached out from his own team and tipped it just past the blue line. And it went all the way down. Well, we know it's still icing, but the parent is screaming, he touched it. It's not icing. Right? And he is losing his mind. That's not icing. He's screaming, his hands, he's going crazy. And I'm like, sir, it's icing. It's icing. He pays no attention to me. I'm standing right next to him with the supervisor, Jack. Sir, it's icing. I'm trying to help you. I was going to explain the rule to you. Just so you would know, so you'd understand why it was still an icing. Parent behind is looking at it like, like, you know what? Really? It's like, okay, whatever.
That's what you need.
It's icing.
You need Peter the puck.
Yeah, but if the puck is touched before the red line, and a lot of people don't realize that one. If it's tipped before the red line, it has to be tipped by your own team that's iced the puck. If the other team touches it anywhere, that nullifies the icing. So you're good. But that's one that I think is another one you might want to write about, Ross. I hope you're taking notes. Yeah.
I got my pen here, my number 2 pencil. Brad's going to remember all of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So before we move on to combined, can I have 2 minutes since it is the ref room? I want to talk about my game this past Saturday, which in my eyes had the worst and the best moment perhaps of my season, which Brad's over there kind of knows. Scott's in there like, oh, I don't know anything about this. What's he doing?
No, I don't.
No. So varsity high school varsity state tournament game. I'm a linesman, and one of the referees I worked with him a couple weeks ago. The other referee I did not even know. So, but this to me really speaks on officials, particularly the one who I didn't know, and I don't even need to say his name. So first period's pretty physical, and maybe 10 minutes into the game, I'm literally standing right next to a guy as he's talking with one of the other guys and drops a hate speech comment. Effing beep. And I am literally, I can touch the guy. I can put my arm on his shoulder. And I turned to him and I said, you can't be saying that in this game. And he looks at me and goes, all right, don't say anything. I said, no, that's not how this works. So I immediately reported it to the referee, who I've never worked a game with, didn't know me, I don't know him. And I give him full props because he did exactly what is supposed to be done at that point. Brought over the other referee. They went to talk to the offending coach. Offending coach really didn't argue at all. I mean, what can you say?
Right.
And, again, I'll give it the other referee full credit because did exactly what we're taught to do in any type of hate speech. And this wasn't like, my back's to the bench and, well, I think it was that guy over there. I literally was inches away from the guy. I heard it. I even made a comment to him. He replied that he knew he said it. But kudos to our referees who, to me, did what they should have done. And Brad's going to take full credit for that.
No, I'm not.
No, so that's just my 2 cents. I really want to give a shout out.
Both the referees should take full credit for that. I mean, they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly what we are trained to do. So good for them. Yep. Did they go over? Did they match the player because they knew exactly who it was, or did they? Yeah. Was it a warning to the bench?
I mean, I told them everything. Who it was, what number, and they went over to the coach and told him he was gone. Did the 5 minutes. So kudos to the referees for.
I had a player yesterday. You saw the report come in, I think, tournament game, not a state game, just tournament game, and a little scrum in front of the net. Got minor penalty on the guy, take it in the box, and he decides to fly the bird to the whole everybody in the building. There was more to that story afterwards. The coach told me, which was very entertaining. I won't share, but needless to say, he was shown the door. So. It is what it is. Yeah. Kids. High school midgets, it is, or I don't know. It was listed as a JV tournament, so they could have been U16, U18s, whatever. So, yeah, just the way it is. All right.
Not
moving on to the combined.
Combined.
Hey, since
so combined, of course.
JV, hey, real quick, the JV is the biggest division this year, right? They have the most teams.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I was just curious.
I'm glad, Jack won't be happy to hear this, but I'm glad they opened it up to, I think, everybody. I know at least the last year, maybe 2 years, I don't remember if it's 1 or 2 years, it was 16 teams, which is fine, but, give everybody a chance. And yes, you're not going to get a basketball, an IHSA basketball JV tournament, but I think hockey's different. And those guys are, they're busting their butt, all season. Yeah. Give everybody a chance for a state tournament.
Yeah, I agree. So. I mean, look, I enjoy working JV games. They're fun. I mean, those guys working hard. Yeah. It's some of the teams are a little bit better than others, obviously, because they just have depth, or maybe they only have one varsity team and not two. I think that's a big disadvantage that's probably going to end up, I would think, getting looked at, because you have let's take York for example. York's got last year they get to the championship for state, really strong team. They had a very strong JV. I think probably between them and GBN last year, those were probably the two best JVs. Yeah, New Trier and GBS were very close, right in there, I believe. But I kind of felt like York or GBN would have won last year, that they were the teams to beat. Looking this year, GBN again only has one varsity. They don't have two. Same thing with York. If we go look at GBS, though, GBS has a good JV, or Viator has a good JV, but they have 2 varsity teams. So, I don't know if that's going to be a discussion moving forward. Do you let teams not have 2 varsities or 1 varsity only, and then they can have a stronger JV team? Because I think if GBN had 2 varsity teams, they might not be as dominant in the JV category. So, it's something to think about down the road, I suppose. But with that being said, I think GBN is the team to beat for JV this year. York has 2. Their 2 JV teams, 1 and 2, are both really strong. Like,
pretty good. Yeah.
I wonder how they do against one another. I mean, it can't be a lopsided game because they're both very strong. If you had a situation where Viator only had 1 varsity team, I'd say they probably have a pretty strong JV team too. So everybody's quiet on this. I mean, this is just my opinion.
I don't think they're getting rid of any varsity teams. Okay.
No.
So,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, New Trier Blue has to play New Trier Green. Okay, like, come on, like, that's before they get to bed.
Has it gotten to that point yet? We're pretty close, aren't we? Where are we, Ross?
That's the next game. Yeah, that's the Sweet 16.
Is it green versus blue, or is it white versus blue?
No, it's green versus blue.
Green versus blue. Wow.
Yeah.
Typically every year there's at least once or twice a year, there's that game as a practice game that they hold. And, New Trier has changed a little bit because now I think blue is really their number 2 team, where before it used to be the white team was really the number 2 team and the blue team was the lower varsity. I think that's how it was, but they've changed it now under the new direction. So, that could be a good game too. I mean, New Trier's tough, man. The white team looks awfully good. Come on, last night they looked really strong. They're big.
And plus they got an assist from you.
Hey, look, I got to get on point streak somehow. You're not going to shut me out. I'm not going to be shut out. That's the way it is.
Scott, I think my senior year, it was either my junior year or senior year at high school, New Trier, and the green team and the blue team were in opposite sides, and they played in the semifinals, both of them. Wow. And the blue team almost won the semifinal game. I think it went to overtime, and they ended up losing, but it would have been like the first time that the 2 would have met each other in the final. Like, it would have been really weird.
Hey, Brad, what year was that? What year would that have been?
I want to say it was like 99.
Yeah, because I said before you came on that I think it seems like 15 plus years that it's been.
It's been a long time since they played each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, but blue is now always in the same bracket.
I mean, that just shows
green, which is
how strong their program is. Their program is unbelievable.
If you're not in, if you don't live in Wilmette or Winnetka, do you really want to watch a green-blue final? No. So it's not really, it's not fair to blue every year, but at the same token, if they happen to get there,
I get it.
So
I get it.
Well, we've still got some teams that we talk about the red division because that could be very interesting. I still think
we got to get through the combined first. Scott.
Yeah, all right, keep going. You know how my mind works.
All right, well,
I'm on a high from my point yesterday, being on point streak. Okay, I get an assist.
Yeah.
So checking my email.
Yeah.
I think in combined, I think everybody wants to beat Chicago North. Super talented team, a lot of players. I don't know about you guys. That's the team I hear everybody wants to beat. Like they want them in the final, I guess, or they think they'll be in the final.
I'm sure they do, but I'd say good luck to you trying to accomplish that feat because when I saw Chicago North early in the season, typically we see the high school teams and, they're a little bit smaller at the start of the year and then they get bigger and stronger and faster. And it's like you look at them and go, and a good example would be looking at New Trier White. New Trier White, normally start of the season, we were doing them, we've been doing them 2-man and like easy, schmeezy, nice games, no issue. Now you see them, they are big boys. They are strong. They are physical. I mean, the development that you've seen from the start of the year to this point, like, it's pretty incredible. And I just think that when Chicago North came out at the beginning of the season, that's how they looked to start the season. So they were big boys. That's a big team. They got a lot of talent on that team. I think they have a lot of, I don't know if they're former or current, like Central States players, and I don't know if they get some AAA players on, but they're solid. They're a good team. They're tough as nails. I mean, tough as nails. They could take the beating. Yeah. So whoever is going to put up a fight with them is going to have to go to the death on this one, because it will be a good game. I hope somebody is up for it, and I'd love to see the challenge, but I think they're a really good team, and I think they are the force to be reckoned with this year.
I'll just throw it to Brad. So Chicago North's first game is against Yeti. So, Brad, who you taking? Yep. Who you taking?
I think the fantastic officiating will be.
All right.
Okay. I'm not getting involved.
So Yeti, yeah. What do you think there, Brad? That might be an easy one for you to pick.
Give me phone calls and text messages. No. I'm staying out of this one. You guys do.
All right. Well,
so they're going to get past Yeti. Sorry.
Yeti. That's Lake Zurich, right? Is that Lake Zurich, Yeti?
Yeah. Hold on. Wait a minute. I have a question. Is Scott reffing the game? Because I know he'll score.
I was going for a hat trick. You're only giving me one goal. I mean, come on.
Once more, yeah.
Yeah.
He likes getting these stats.
Right. So that was one I'd rather not have. I'm glad it didn't go in. I mean, I only got an assist, but pucks pucks go off skates, and
it was the easiest
that's how you would explain it. Like all season long, do you see during a game a puck hit a referee or go off a skate? Doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Players never put pucks into referees' skates in the corner.
No, we get hit by it all the time. I'm saying it doesn't get shot out in front of the net like that, though. Or it goes in. It doesn't really happen that much after, if you really think about it. But that's first time. That's first time I've had something like that happen. Of course, timing is everything. But I mean, you do see you'll see a player trying to clear a puck, and he puts it right into a referee's skate or something like that. It doesn't stop play. Play continues. So it's the same thing unless it goes in the net. So again, we'll defend that rule. You probably would have been better off at going off you and going off the back of the goalie and in the net and going, well, that was a direct result to me that went in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you wouldn't have counted it. It would have made a better situation for you, but guess what? That's not what happened.
Yeah.
Went into Hammertown in the middle of the net, and the guy put it in there, and now you're the GOAT. So there you
go. GOAT I thought was greatest of all time. Did I miss something?
In this category.
But Scott, it was the best assist you've had in your career.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And
so we know that Chicago North is going to get past the Yeti.
It could change if Coach Brooks was playing. If Coach Brooks puts on the foil, it could be a different ball game.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I think Wabanzi is gonna beat D155. Just gonna put it out there. They may have played already on the 16th, so at least I'm in.
Is D155? Is that the Predators?
Predators.
Predators. Yeah. And that used to be the Crystal Lake team, correct? So everybody's.
I'm wrong. Well, they already played. Played.
Okay.
They played on Friday, but at least I got in on this one.
Okay, good. Did you pick a winner finally?
I did. They already played, and I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. See, I'm not looking at the brackets. I'm going cold on this, just so you guys know.
So, has anybody seen Belvedere? I know nothing about Belvedere.
Yes. Belvedere is better than you think. Belvedere has
some. I don't know anything about him, so
Belvedere. Yeah. Belvedere is who's Belvedere playing?
Maine Township.
Maine.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna give Maine the edge on this, but honestly, Belvedere is pretty good. I've seen them a couple times this
All right,
year.
so I'm gonna write that
They're
down.
big, they're physical, they're way better than what you would expect. Like, oh, it's Belvedere, you're gonna have a walk in the park. No, you're not gonna have a walk in the park. They got a couple guys that can play on that team. So,
All right. So then the other end of that bracket, you got Glenbard, who I like Glenbard. They get there, it seems, every other year. They have the experience. That's good. Against Chicago Central.
so Chicago Central would be the old Romans.
Romans, correct.
For everybody that doesn't know, that would be Chicago Central, the way it's broken down. So it's Romans, Chicago Central against who?
Glenbard.
Glenbrook.
Yeah.
Glenbard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another good game. I think I'm going to give that one to Glenbard.
Yeah, Glenbard. So then you got Prep against Leiden.
Okay, I'm going to go with Prep on this one. I've had both
we're
teams
pretty good.
quite a few times this year. Leiden, I think it was Leiden. I could be mistaken, but I think Leiden, I did their senior night, and they played Yeti, and they were expecting to get killed. But in defense of Yeti, they had like 4 guys on the bench that were all out. I think 4 of their top line were out. 3 of them were in like a sling. They looked like the Hanson brothers, from the Chiefs. All of them just standing there with the same sling on the same arm. Looked like a Halloween situation, but it wasn't. They were all injured. So I think Leiden ended up tying Yeti, which was a big shock because Yeti was I think everybody from Leiden was like, we had hoped to get an easier senior night game that we might have a chance. And I think they were expecting to get slaughtered. But the goalie stood on his head for Leiden. That was the big thing. So if he plays like that, it'll be a good game. But I think Prep is pretty physical. They play pretty tough. And they came off of a national championship last year, right? So, they've got a little experience if they have some of those players coming back, and I expect that they will rise to the occasion and cover that one.
All right, so the bottom half of the bracket. First, we know Wabanzi. We already talked about that, thanks to Brad's intel.
Yep.
Then you got Buffalo Grove. You're welcome. Buffalo Grove, BGHW against Wheaton West. I've seen BG much more than I've seen Wheaton this season. I would pick them to move on. I think they got some. I like their defense, so I think BG would be the team to beat in that game.
Yeah.
Then you got the Ice Cats against the Cobras.
Okay, Ice Cats is Libertyville.
Correct.
Libertyville, I like. I like them. I don't think they have a super strong offense, but they hang in there. And they wait for their opportunity. And they play tough. And they play very disciplined. They have excellent coaching. Libor is their coach. What a great coach. And he has done a phenomenal job with that team. So I think I'm going to pick them over the Cobras.
Are you sure that you haven't been looking at these brackets?
No, I'm sitting here. I get blank screens.
Okay.
Finally, we got Naperville against DuPage. And
I don't think I've seen either of those teams. So maybe I've seen Naperville. No, I haven't seen them at all. I don't think I've seen either of those teams. So I don't even know.
I'm going to go with Naperville in that one. I've seen them only a couple times, but a good team.
Yeah.
So you're down in the top bracket. We're going to go with Chicago North, Maine, Glenbard, and Prep. I'm going to say it's going to be Chicago North against. I'll say Glenbard.
Okay. I think I saw Glenbard once this year, if that. So I'm just going to.
Glenbard can make it, can they? Glenbard's in the top bracket.
That's what I'm saying for the semifinals.
Oh, you mean for the semifinal? Oh, okay. All right. I got you now. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with Chicago North all the way, and everybody else, good luck to you.
Pick.
Play hard.
Yeah, okay. Fine. I'll go with Glenbard. The bottom half, I'm going to go with Wabanzi They'll play BG, and then the Ice Cats will play Naperville. So that's our
I'm going to get
two
the
other
Ice Cats over.
semifinals.
Yeah, I'll keep the Ice Cats for that next one.
No, I'm going to go with Wabanzi coming out of the bottom. We'll take Chicago North for our finals for the combined
Okay.
number 1 against number 2. Chicago North against Wabanzi.
Yeah, Chicago North.
I've seen both.
I'm not even going to hesitate.
Really good
Chicago
final.
North. Yep.
That'd be a really,
Brad, what do you-
really good final.
Who are you taking, Brad?
I'll be at the UC. I'll let you know right after the game.
He's going to take the officiating staff.
Puck drops at 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday the 3rd. Don't miss
7:30,
it. I'll
you'll
let
tell
you
me?
know what the score was afterwards.
Okay.
Gotcha. Fine.
Always
I'll go
the
out on a limb.
politically correct one.
No,
Yes.
I'm gonna
Participation
say-
awards for everybody. And I know you're not like that either, but
I will go out on a limb and say Wabanzi will upset Chicago North.
okay. Well, good. Russ, you and I are on opposites. Last year, I think I won every single one of the
I think I lost every single one.
yeah.
I think so. I think he had a spectacular.
Oh, so that's
year,
why
but he
that's
was
my
looking-
smart decision. I went with Barrington and GBN in girls and JV number ones.
Yep.
Here I'm at least taking number 2 in
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Chicago North on that one. I'm gonna pick them all the way.
All right. And Brad, we're gonna give you the Yeti. You can have the Yeti.
Yeah. Yeah, you like Brooksy. He's one of your buddies. We all like Brooksy, so you take Yeti.
I've known him since he played for the Express, man.
Did he play for the Express? I didn't know that. See?
Yeah,
So that means he probably played at Park
good.
Ridge.
he
Of course.
Ah. All right.
So. It's funny because
So-
growing up, the only time we ever saw the Park Ridge building was for tryouts. We saw it in like August or September. We showed up, we tried out there. We never played there again the rest of the season. Never had a game in that place. Never had a practice in there. Unbelievable. Minor Hawks.
They moved you to where
What
you
was your
belong
big rink
outside.
then? Where'd you play?
Home rig was pretty much Lake Forest College. City kid having to go to Lake Forest College every day. Dedicated parents. Very dedicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. All right.
We're
Let's
not
see.
a
We
horse
got
and
we got a few
buggy.
comments. Let's see what we got here because Brian says, "Did you see the referee in the Hawks game Saturday take a shot off the face, bleeding pretty badly, left the game briefly, and they went 3-man."
He came
I heard
back.
about this. I think from Max was telling me the story about this, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it was actually
Matt Schwartz.
it was Matt
Schwartz.
yesterday that was telling us about it. And yeah, it's you want to cover. Did you see the actual situation, or are you going off what we heard in the locker room yesterday?
No, I didn't. I haven't seen it.
How about you, Brad?
I didn't see it. All I know is that he came back. That's all I know.
Yeah, he came back for the third. Well, you know, they're hockey players. You know, they keep working too. You know, I've told you guys on the show, I saw a few years back, one of the referees had a bottle of water out there before the game started for the national anthem. And I'm like, that's really weird to see a referee standing around with a bottle of water and it's in his back pocket. And sure enough, he disappeared pretty quickly after the start of the game. And I watched them do a 3-man, and they did a 3-man for an NHL game. And I finally saw a linesman go down and cover a goal line late in the third period. I didn't see it the entire game the rest of the time. I saw the referee stay on one side of the ice and go top of the circle to top of the circle. You know, not that anybody's going to do a better job than that. And he never called a penalty on the opposite side of the ice. The only penalties he called were only on his side of the ice. So, you know, it's tough. They're going to rely on replay. That's what they've got it for. Anything is questionable, they can just go back and review it. So,
As long as they call it a major.
well, were you talking about on a penalty? I'm talking about. I'm referring to goals. You know, they can go back and review. They can go back and review if a goal was scored. If there's some sort of a goal mouth scramble, they can go back and look at it and make sure they got the right decision. So, yeah, it's the way it works. You know? I mean,
All right, on to the red bracket.
All right, here we go with the big guns. The big guns. Bring it.
I'll move this along. Don't worry about it.
Let's see what you got to say, Brad. You got the first one is green and gold, or green and blue.
Oh,
I'm
wait,
sorry.
wait, before you get there, Karen, because Karen always watches the show, and I saw her the other night at one of the games. Always great to see her.
Yeah.
She said they
Look at
played
that, Brad.
1-7-0. And she said that next year, Wheaton and Wabanzi are combining. I didn't know that.
Oh.
So that will make them a lot stronger, too. I would assume that might be interesting because that's two good teams combining there. Okay, thanks for that, Karen.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. All right, go ahead, Brad.
So Brad,
Bring it
kicking
home,
off
baby.
the,
Bring it
red,
home.
You got green against blue.
I think that makes purple or red. I'm not sure. But as to color-wise, really not that big if we're mixing green and blue together for me, personally. Doesn't match my eyes. So
Yeah.
that's what I got. That's my assessment.
Green and blue is really good looking when it's the Vancouver Canucks original jersey, okay?
Ooh,
That's when
yeah.
green and blue are really good looking.
But you got to have that white or else it doesn't work.
Absolutely. Well, they got a white team too, and that white team looked pretty good last night.
Thanks to you.
Hey, padding the stats, baby. Pad the stats. If the referees in my men's league game would give me my points, I wouldn't have to pad my stats, okay?
All
right. There you go.
Hey, Brad, I just thought you were going to say, who's going to win? New Trier.
Yeah, that would have been good. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
I got to do all the thinking around here.
Ross is always thinking, see?
I'm going to keep that one. That's normally something I would catch, too. And that one flew right over me.
Yeah, I'm going to go with New Trier on that game. I'm going to go with New Trier. All right.
Yeah, okay. So let's move on. The 8-9 seeds, Lake Forest at number 8, playing Evanston, number 9.
I think that's going to be a good game. I think that's going to be a very good game.
In the Sweet 16, I think could be the best game of the Sweet 16 round.
Yeah, I think those are two very evenly matched teams.
Yeah. I've seen Evanston or Lake Forest more than I've seen Evanston this season. I think they're very well coached and some skilled players. They just go at you. I mean, they're physical.
They're both physical teams.
Both offense and defense.
I think it'll be whoever gets good goaltending that day, I think, is going to be the winner on that one. I'll go with whoever steps it up that day because that's going to be a good battle.
Goaltenders cop out.
Good goaltending. We'll probably.
Well, that's fine. I'm just going to say Lake Forest is going to win that because you guys ain't making any predictions here. I'll say Lake Forest.
Hang on. I know who's going to win it. The team that scores more goals than the other team.
That's a good one. Yeah.
You got all the cliches today. Very good, Brad. All right. But you'll be there to hand out participation awards. All right. What's the next bracket we got there?
Only after the 8 o'clock
next
game.
We got Glenbrook North. Now, there's a game tonight, Nequa Valley against Stevenson.
Tonight.
The winner of that game faces Glenbrook North.
Nequa and Stevenson.
So, Brad, you got double. You got to pick Nequa Valley and Stevenson, and then the winner of that game gets GBN. Who you taking?
I'll just get right to GBN. I'm just going to go with GBN coming out of that, okay?
Just hammers it right to GBN.
Yeah, I'm just going to hammer it right there.
I got Stevenson beating Nequa tonight, and then Stevenson GBN. GBN's getting that one, so we'll mark them off.
Okay, finally, I'm in agreement with you. We finally agree on something, Ross.
Yeah. Final Sweet 16 of the top bracket, St. Viator against Fenwick. Number 5 against number 12. Sorry, Fenwick. I'm going with St. Viator in that one.
Yeah, I am too. And I think I really have seen a huge improvement in Fenwick. Like they have moved it up. Yeah. They play really hard. They're a solid team. I think their future is really bright right now. But I think I'm going to go with Viator on this one. Viator has seemed to be pretty solid all year. And I think they'll get it done.
I give Fenwick credit because every time I saw him this year, I saw him against Green. They're probably not going to beat Green.
That's the
any
only game I
them-
saw against them, to be honest with you. I saw them. They played green and they played really hard, and it was a nice game. But
They don't give
they're-
up. They have some small players. You
Yep.
know, they're
yeah, huge
taking a
size
beating.
difference between the two teams.
Yeah, but the whole, every time I saw them this season, they never gave up. So I give Nick and his team full credit for sticking in
Yep.
every game that I saw.
Yep.
So
I think they've really come a long way. They were a strong team a few years back, and then they kind of dropped off a little bit for a couple of years, and now I think they're right back there as one of the better teams. So
in the bottom bracket, we start with number 2, Loyola. They play number 15, Bennett. Bennett just upset Highland Park the other day. I think Saturday night. Maybe I think it was Saturday, 3-1.
That's a good win for them. HP has, Melton's done a really nice job with that program, and he's got those guys playing hockey, so that's a good win for them. I've only seen Bennett once this year, and I saw them playing. I think it was Brother Rice. I could be mistaken, but I think it was Brother Rice. I think they were expected to win that game very easily, and it wasn't that easy for them. So, probably gonna go with the other team.
And that would be Loyola.
Yes.
All right, marking Loyola down. So then you got number 7, York.
Listen, I think Loyola, I think this year, we're not there yet, but I think this year is kind of wide open for who could win this whole thing. As we get down to probably the quarters and the semis here on these brackets, I think we're all going to have, a little tougher discussion on some of these, because I think Loyola has a pretty good shot. I think Viator's got a pretty good shot. I think GBS has a pretty good shot. New Trier is certainly right there.
What about GBN?
GBN too.
What about Ignatius?
I haven't seen Ignatius this year.
Oh.
Believe it or not. I know they're good.
Yeah. So next you got number 7, York, against number 10, Lyons Township.
I'll go with York on that one.
All right. Going back.
I know Lions is pretty good. They got some. I think they had like 3 guys on the All-Star team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm still going to go with York. I'm going to go with York. Very well coached team.
Right.
If he can keep everybody working hard like he does, I think they'll be okay. I know they were a little smaller this year, and that was a concern that they weren't like physically big enough. But I think they work hard. Good, well coached. I think they can win that game.
And I think Brad wanted to pick York for their all white outfits, pretty good uniforms. So that's what he marked down. Right, Brad? Thought so.
The grays with the black
It's
shoulders.
the all white.
I like those much better, by the way. I'm not, I won't mention any of the teams that have the white breezers, but
there's some pretty sharp high school jerseys right now that some teams have redesigned and gotten their breezers together and stuff.
I think the beige uniforms are the choice of this season. Like it seems like everybody's got a beige.
Well, I think the Jaguar. Have you seen the Jaguars uniforms? That's not a high school team, but they're a local team here, and that's pretty cool. They're like beige or beigeish gold. They're not the gold LA Kings. They're kind of like beige with the LA Kings stuff and the purple. It's a sweet looking uniform. That looks good. Even Winter Club has a cool they got like that Minnesota, the dark green with the beige. It's a good looking uniform. Yeah.
That GBS Glenbrook South number 2 team. I think those are pretty cool. Those
I agree.
Baby blue.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, that's like Viator. Viator's got that white with the blue. It's not a Maple Leaf jersey, but it looks really good on the ice. I'll tell you that.
All right. So then you go to Glenbrook South, the number 3 seed against Carmel. Sorry, Carmel.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to say some things here because I think Carmel is very underrated all the time. I agree. I think GBS will win that game, but Carmel will give them a fight. And PJ has done an amazing job with that program and really taken them from nowhere to being a competitor in every game. And I think they will give them a nice game, but in the end, GBS is going to win that game.
Sorry, Scott, that could be a running time game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Well,
you know. All right. Then we wrap it up in the bottom half with number 6, St. Ignatius against number 11, Deerfield. I just don't think Deerfield has
I'm going to go with Ignatius.
the manpower to compete with Ignatius. So, all right. So then when we come back up to the top, we'll go with Green, Lake Forest, GBN, and Viator. So we say Neutral Green against Lake Forest. I think I'll go with.
I'm going to go with
we'll
Green
both go
on that one. Yeah, I'll go with Green on that one.
GBN Viator.
Wow.
If we get to that. 4-5.
Wow. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
And I'm going to probably break away.
Games have been good all year.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I know that their games have been good all year between the two of them, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I won't be working that game. But I'm going to go with Viator.
Correct.
I'm going to go with Viator on that game. I won't be adding to my point total, but I'll be going with Viator on that game.
Well, Scott, I think we're actually both going to pick Viator in that one.
Yeah, and I think
that's
an upset. I think that's an upset. I think GBN would probably be favored, but I just think that Viator for some reason
Viator's
manages to stay in
team.
all these tight, tough games, and they're finally starting to, win in those tough games where they're right there. And I saw them lose a couple times a couple years ago, like to Loyola in overtime both times, and saw them lose overtime to GBS. But they're there, and they just managed to be there, and I think they're just going to finally break through and get that W. So I'm going to go with Viator on that game.
We're both on that. So then we get to Loyola and York. I just think it's too much for York. Loyola will.
I think this year I'm going to give it to Loyola. In years past, I probably would have gone with York, but I think this year I think it's Loyola's year to beat York in that situation. So,
all right. So now here's the interesting one. If it gets there, number 3 GBS against number 6 Ignatius potentially, just coming off a Scholastic League semifinal, I believe, series that Ignatius won, and they won the deciding game. I think they won it 6-1.
Yeah, easily.
So
put up a
Baumruck
runner.
South, Ignatius.
I'm going to go out on a limb here again. I'm going to pick GBS to go. I'm going to go with them.
Oh wait, how is that going out on a limb? They're the number 3
how's that
seed.
going out on a limb? Yeah, but,
Ignatius has been such a tough, up there for the last few years. They are a tough team. They're good. All right. Well, I'm still going out on a limb. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with GBS on that one.
No, God, this kind of sucks that I'm agreeing with you on this as well.
This is bad. I could be 0 for 20 this year if Ross is picking.
If you follow me, I'm not sure that's the best move. I think if they get going, they got the best player best forward in the state. But it's an interesting matchup because you got Zach Framey from Glenbrook South. You got Tiernan Ryan from Ignatius. But I do think Jimmy Philbin's going to have his South guys certainly motivated off the disaster they had in Game 3 of the Scholastic League semifinals. So I'm not sure I really want to go against Spencer and Ignatius.
I don't either. Spencer's done a great job with that organization. He's one heck of a coach, and they're a great team. Unfortunately for me, I don't think I saw Ignatius all year, so I'm going to go with GBS because I've seen them, and I'm like, I know they can play. I know they're big, they're tough, they don't back down. I'm sure Ignatius is the same way, and I haven't seen him, so I'm going to go with GBS.
All right. So now, if we're doing this, our brackets, we would have Neutral Green against St. Viator for a semifinal.
Yeah, what a matchup that is.
I know Viator's beaten them at least once in regulation time. They come at you. They're a big physical team.
Yep.
You got Charlie Hoffman on that team and Voris. So a lot of guys who, can score.
Yep.
Can they contend with everything that Green brings? Size and their fourth line could be a number one line in most teams. What do you think there, Scott?
Unfortunately, I'm gonna go with Green on this one because I've seen what Green is capable of, but they're going to have to bring it that night. I've only seen one team, not that I've seen Green that much this year, but I saw one team that really was beating Green and was going to beat them. They were from out of state. But Green hit like 4 stretch passes off the goal line and opened that game up. And that is the only way they ended up finally beating that team. If that team could have contained the stretch pass, they have just an amazing breakout that is so fast with like 3 guys going up and they're deep and that puck comes out like a rocket and somebody's on it and you are defending for your life at that point. And that is something that I have not seen another team with that kind of a breakout. And I think that is the thing that can either make or break them. If they can complete those passes and make it happen, they're going to go all the way. And if they struggle and they don't get that breakout, I mean, they can play with everybody and they're tough. And, physically, I haven't seen a team that brings the puck as hard as they do when they've got it. So I'm going to say that's why I think they can repeat. I think it's open this year.
Well,
I think Loyola, I think Viator, I think GBS, I think all of those are unbelievable matchups. And I think I really believe this year there's no clear, like Chicago North. I'm like, yeah, Chicago North is going to win their division.
No, I already said Bonzi's winning that. You can't go.
But I'm just saying Chicago North. You're not going to win on this, Ross. But anyway, Chicago North, clearly the winner, I think. I can't say that for the Red Division. I think this is really a crapshoot this year. I think anybody in that top 4 can get in and be in the final. Everybody's got a chance this year.
So you're going with Green.
I'm going with Green.
Fenwick in a potential semifinal.
Well, that's going to be
tough.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Green again in the semi.
All right, well, boy, I hate to just side right there with you, but boy, they're big, they're tough. As physical as Viator is, I just think you got to give this advantage to Green. So yeah, I'll pick Green in that one.
Yep.
Although Viator was potentially one of my 4.
I know.
Finalists, but also
I know
it's tough to go against them because I like them. They're so skilled. They got a lot of bodies that can score.
Yep.
So moving on to Loyola and York. Sorry, I think I'm gonna stick with Loyola in that one.
I think I'm going to agree with you. I think if it was last year's team, I would be going with York. But I think with this year's team,
Baumruck South over Ignatius.
Yeah, I'm going with GBS over Ignatius.
All right, so what are we down to? Loyola and Glenbrook South.
Yeah,
I'm going with Glenbrook South.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I started to spit that out before you did. I like Loyola. I think Loyola is really strong. It's just going to depend on, can GBS really get it done? They have all the talent in the world to do it. They just have to show up that day and play.
I think that's going to be the game.
That's where I think it's a wild card because I think Loyola has that ability to disrupt that. I think they have the ability to disrupt that team from playing their best hockey. And, for anybody to come out of that series, it's going to take your best hockey. So whoever shows up, I think that's absolutely a dead-on great game coming. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say I won't be working that game either.
But who are you picking?
Man, I'm going to go with GBS. I'm going to go with GBS.
He's just following me.
I mean, Loyola's the real deal.
Green GBS
I think any of those teams that we've named, Viator, GBS, Loyola, Green. Any one of those can win this year. Absolutely. I really believe that. This is not I'm picking that team. They're winning for sure. I'm more confident in Chicago North winning the combined division than I am in any of those teams winning the red.
You got 4 teams right there that we all agree on, but in each of the brackets, I could easily see Glenbrook North getting out of there. I could also see St. Ignatius coming from the bottom bracket.
Yeah, I don't disagree
and obviously
with you.
That speaks to
we got
the strength of the Scholastic League.
Great teams, and if you're playing one-off games, anything can happen in any one of these games. Anything can happen. It's not a best-of-3 series. If we're talking best-of-3, I think I can pick a winner on some of those a little bit clearer than a one-off game.
Glenbrook North comes with the best goalie in the state, Michael Raderman. St. Ignatius comes with, as I said, Tiernan Ryan. I think he was number 2 in the SHL in scoring. So it's like we haven't even had either of those 2 teams in our Final Four, and yet both of them easily could be there. Yeah. So Brad will sit there and shake his head.
We don't have Austin Matthews in a Stanley Cup either, do we?
You guys
we don't have
great.
Connor McDavid in a Stanley Cup final either. So I mean, having great goaltending goes a long way. So if the top goaltender from GBN steps it up and plays what he's capable of, guess what? GBN can be winning the whole thing because you can ride a hot goalie.
That said, we both are kind of in agreement. We have New Trier Green and Glenbrook South. That's our final March 13th at the UC.
That's a pretty good matchup.
That's a very good matchup.
I think that would be a really good game. I think that would be a really good game. So,
who are you picking?
I'm going to go with Green again all the way.
All the way. What's the score?
Oh, man, you had to throw that my way. I'll say 4-2.
4-2, all right. Just to, because you're going to go the
I could go 3-1 in that game as well, but I'll go 4-2.
Well, which one? I want to write these down so I make sure I got it.
I'm going to go 4-2. I'll go Green 4-2.
4-2. Okay, then I'm going to go. With the upset. Okay. I'm going to go with.
Just shoot in my victory. Ross is picked against me. No, I'm only kidding.
Well, I couldn't side with you. I'm going to go with Glenbrook South winning.
I appreciate that. I mean,
4-3.
And Brad's going to go with the third team. He's going to go with the third team.
No, I'm going to know the winner. Don't worry about it. I'll let you guys know. I'm going to be there. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Can you confirm
text us? I'm sure.
It's a
Make
team
sure you
that's
get my point totals right too. Okay.
What did you say, Ross?
I said it's going to be a team ranked in the top 20.
Top 50.
Oh, top 50. You can't even go 20, huh? I got the lowest seed right now is Blue at 17.
See what I did there?
So I'm going Glenbrook South 4-3. Wyatt Sherwood is going to score the game-winning goal. I'm going to write that down so I can.
Well, that'll be pretty exciting. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
So, Philbin, you better make sure this happens. I gotta be able to brag a little bit.
I think we are going to have some really good games, is what it comes down to. It's going to be a great playoff season. So
it's fun. This is a great time of the season. Watching, I mean, everybody's giving their all, and we just get some fun games. And looking at these, I mean, there's so many teams that could. I like Lake Forest. I mean, I don't know if they would pass Green, but you like them. And York was there last year. They're number 7. Like, what's to say they don't beat? They beat Loyola.
Yeah.
Well, they had a weekend. A couple weekends ago or a month ago, they beat Green and Gold. So, can they get past Gold again? You get
that's what scares me with all these teams. I mean, it's not like anybody's just walked through everybody all season. There's been ups and downs.
In the AHL, that's what they're doing. They're beating everybody up. Everybody gets beat up in the SHL. Nobody walks through. It's not like years ago where New Trier did not lose to an Illinois team. Okay, they lost to Culver. They lost to Shattuck.
Yeah.
They had 5 losses. So
Yeah.
anybody can win, and it'll be interesting. I just hope we get done.
Yep.
Good finals and
Yeah,
no overtime in the
absolutely. I
finals.
just want to see, a really good game. I want to see both teams on all cylinders. That's what I'm looking for. It's a different ball game when you go down to the United Center and you play in a building like that with so much on the line. And a lot of times you see the games are very conservative, and it's not the typical style of play you would expect from those teams. I think if you put that game in, you put it in Heartland, you put it in Glenview, you put it in North Shore Ice Arena, one of those, those teams are way more comfortable playing in those buildings or Mount Prospect, and they can just bring it, or down at even Fifth Third, they can come down there and just bring it. You put them in the United Center, and there's just so much, just like the NHL with the Game 7 and a Stanley Cup final. I mean, there's just a lot going through everybody's head. People aren't sleeping at night. People are, want to play more conservative maybe than they usually do, or maybe they don't want to play as conservative as they might want to. And it's just a different game. So I'm just hoping both teams are on all cylinders, and it's a game on, baby. Bring it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. It'd be great that, if it is, as we kind of jokingly say or predict, I guess, New Trier Green against Glenbrook South, you're getting to see some of the best players in the state of Illinois this season. Big, tall, talented players on green. You had Freymuth from Glenbrook South, best player in the state. And that would be great if he could have a standout game, win or lose, just to spotlight Illinois hockey, how good the season has been across the board. When we're looking at easily 10 teams that I wouldn't really be surprised if this team made it there. It's not like in past years where, okay, who's facing green?
Right.
Right.
I totally agree with that. And I think that's the best point that you make right there is, we're not sure who's going to face green, and we're not sure green will get there to be faced this year. As good as they are, we have, easily 6 teams that can get there. Easily 6 teams.
Yeah. And, you take the 6 that we mentioned, and then you throw a few others that are like, would York be able? I mean, they were there last year.
Absolutely.
They know how to, they know what it takes. Yeah. What about Lake Forest? Can they pull an upset? If they're able to get past,
it's
New Trier,
one game.
Their confidence is sky high.
Absolutely. You can just have a bad 3 minutes of hockey, and there's your season. Honestly, you can play for, what do they play? They play 17s. They can play 2 perfect 17-minute periods and just have 3 minutes off in that second period, and that's their season right there. Because if you give up 1 or 2 quick or shaky goals, the whole mindset is out the window at that point. It's game on. So that's why I say these teams all have to just come and bring it. So I wish them all the best. Good teams, well coached, love our hockey here in Illinois, love everybody involved in our game, and I wish them nothing but the best. I hope all the teams can get to the finals, and I hope all the teams can win. Just doesn't happen that way, but that's what I'm hoping for. And that will make their programs that much better, because I've seen these programs just grow and get better and better and stronger. And, it's great for our game. We got a lot of quality people playing and a lot of quality coaches. Can't ask for more than that in Chicago.
No, it's going to be a great final, 2-3 weeks to what's been a really good season. A lot of parity across the board.
Yeah, and the other thing, like this year, the Blackhawks Scholarship Luncheon is taking place the same day at the United Center. So you talk about a full, fun day for people if you're going to that scholarship luncheon, and then you've got all the games after that. I mean, what a special day that's going to be, because I know last year, most of the Hawk players, if not all of them in the brass, they're all there. It's excitement. I don't know how that affects if teams can like join in and go to the luncheon if they're getting ready to play in those games or whatever. But what a great day that's going to be. And, we have so many very talented people, not just on the ice, but off the ice that are playing hockey. And, when you got to hear some of those resumes last year of what some of these people have accomplished in their young careers and young lives, it's very impressive. It really is. I was blown away by it. So that's our Illinois hockey, and it doesn't get any better than that. So I get a little emotional about that because I really have a lot of respect for them all. So anyway, we will be back next week. Ross, thank you so much for coming in here and doing this.
Thank you.
Ross is our resident expert in Illinois on high school hockey and the players, and he writes great articles. So if you get a chance, be sure to check those out. Brad is very quiet today because he's being politically correct.
Sometimes you just know when to be quiet, Scott.
Yeah, I haven't learned that very well. But anyway, so, appreciate you taking time out of your day, Ross, to do that. And
absolutely.
Keep doing what you do. We all enjoy it. We love to read the articles. I know you've been nice enough to write a little bit about this show as well, and appreciate that. And just keep up the great work. Yeah. And,
thank you very much.
Look forward to seeing you on the ice. It was fun working with you last night.
Absolutely.
I didn't see you. You didn't come over and give me a high five after I got an assist. I didn't get a high five or anything from anybody.
I was miserable about that for you.
Yeah. Tell me about it. All right.
All right. With that, yet, but don't worry, we're working on it. Oh.
What's that? Oh, I'm sure.
The video yet, but we're working on it. Don't worry about it.
Make sure I get that.
May they not have live barn.
All right.
If I was facing if I hadn't been turning in like a 360, I never would have been able to kick that out. I couldn't have done that if I had tried.
It happens.
Trust me, it seems like quite often they get the whole ice and they'll shoot it at the referee.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, I could prove that. I got whacked twice yesterday in one game. That's very rare. I took one off the high in the elbow, and I got another one where there's no padding inside the knee area, man. It's black and blue. It's like, pick your head up. Pick your head up.
You got an assist.
Pick your head up.
You got an assist.
Pick your head up. All right. As Brad likes to say, if there's an earthquake coming, they will be the first to inform us of it.
They will.
They have their head down.
Earthquake patrol.
Yes,
they are on earthquake patrol. They're highly.
In case there's a crack in the ground, they know where to find it. Yes. All right. With that, we are out of here, folks. Join us next Monday right here in Chicago, starting at 5:30 p.m. I'm sure we will be up to some kind of craziness with all the playoffs going on. On behalf of Ross Forman, thank you for being here. Our referee in chief, Brad Baumruck. Please give us a thumbs up or a like or hit the notification bell. All that good stuff helps. Subscribe. Do all of the above. It costs you nothing, okay? And that's about it. So have a great week. We'll see you next Monday, 5:30 right here from Chicago. This is the Ref Room. Peace out, everybody.